We see a lot of uninsured, Medicaid. We do get some private insurance people that come through here. This facility in particular has two different units. One unit is more of an urgent recovery center, which is a place where a person can come if they need. They can spend up to 24 hours on that side. Some of these people haven't slept for days. Some of them haven't eaten. Some of them maybe are having some kind of stressor going on at home, and home is stressful and they need to step away. The ER sends us people just walk in. The police bring people in who are in some kind of mental health crisis. If they need a hospital bed, we can find them a bed if it looks like they're going to need a longer stay. But the whole goal of that area is to prevent hospitalization because our beds are so limited in the state. Our other unit is a 16-bed Medicaid unit. And so we see primarily Medicaid folks on that side. We see a good mix of male and female. We see a fair mix of race. We serve everybody. I think our low-income people, it's just a matter of resources. It's a matter of and knowing where to go. Where do I go to get medicine? Where do I go if I find myself homeless? Where are the resources? We have a lot of resources here in Tulsa. Sometimes it's just difficult for people to know how to engage them. And some people come here to our crisis unit, to our urgent recovery center, and they will say, well, I can't afford that. And when I explain to them that, well, you can go to Family and Children's Services and you can see a doctor there and you can get your medicine and they're not going to charge you. And they think, well, oh my God, I would have done this sooner had I known that. So sometimes people just aren't aware. I think that stigma is a huge issue, especially in this area of the country. There are a lot of, pull yourself up by your bootstraps kind of people who frankly just don't understand what mental illness does. Who would choose to be so depressed they don't want to get out of bed and can't sleep and can't take care of their responsibilities. Nobody chooses to be so anxious they can't leave their house. Nobody chooses to hear voices, those things they have no control over. And we are in an area where we're the Bible Belt, and so there is some of the piece of, well, you should just pray more if your faith was strong enough, and we don't tell people things like, well, if your faith was strong enough, your diabetes wouldn't be acting up, or you wouldn't have heart disease if only your faith was strong enough. But depression and anxiety and bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, those are brain disorders. And then there's stigma specifically in your more minority populations. There's huge stigma about accessing services. There's stigma of mistrust of just the system in general because of past things that we know have happened with healthcare and these groups. And there is a stigma of we don't go share our issues with people that don't look like us. And so I also think until our profession is more diverse and reflects the diversity of the population, I think it's going to be very difficult to break some of that. There's not enough of us in general. If you decided today that you needed to go see a psychiatrist, it might take you 6 weeks, it might take you a month and a half, 2 months just to get in with somebody. It might. Agencies like ours work to get people in as soon as possible, but those people with private insurance who are going to other places, it may take them even a while to get in because the waits are just very long. There's more people that need help than there are people to help them in general. Personally, I think everybody's in this together. It is just as important to me that the person across town is doing well as it is that my neighbor is doing well. I have been fortunate enough to not live in the same type of environment that I grew up in, but I don't forget about those things, and I wish that more people considered the other areas of town and consider the struggles that they go through instead of saying, well, those people, they did it to themselves. And on the surface, I get what they're saying. We all have to make decisions, but if you start out the race 10 steps behind, it makes it really hard to get to the same place in the same amount of time. And I see that as a societal problem because I have to figure out how to function in the same community. I think that we all have that responsibility. I know a lot of people don't share that sentiment, but I probably wouldn't be doing this if I didn't on some level believe that we needed to take care of everybody.